how's it going this morning? It's kind of overcast, light misting rain. Monday morning, just got off work. I got off work, got home about 5:30, laid down, and it's like 10:30 now. So I got my good rest in going. Anyway, we're down here at the Memorial Park in town. You can see the boat dock and stuff behind me. But there's a little trail up here, and I'm not sure where it goes or anything like that. It's supposed to be an archery range trail, and I've never really been down it, so we're going to check it out. And, you know, hopefully it turns out to be something cool or whatever. And if it sucks, then, you know, I guess we'll go through my little belt bag that I carry whenever I go out in the woods hiking and stuff like that. You know, if I just go on a short hike or whatever and I'm not going to camp out, I always carry this little bag with me, and you know, I guess I could show you what's in that, or, you know, try to make something out of this video. Anyway, let's go check out the dock. Looks like somebody's been playing down here a little bit in their pickup. Look at there. I got some deep ruts dug in there. Down here just goofing off. I thought today would be a pretty decent day to come down here since it's kind of chilly, and I didn't figure anybody would be coming down. Look, there we go. We're going to walk down here and have a look at this dock. I've gone fishing off this dock a couple of times, and this is the Cumberland River that runs through town. And as you can see, with all this rain we've had, we've got debris up on the little dock here. So this thing's washed out. And yeah, I'm carrying my gun. I always carry my gun when I do stuff like this. You never know what you're going to run into. Water's still kind of up. Somebody's had their dog out here apparently. But there's some pretty quick currents in this river out here, so I don't ever kayak it. It's just not worth the fight. Down here just a moment ago, there he goes. I didn't know who it was, but he's coming down here, you know, throwing a line in the water for a few minutes, having a look around, see if he can catch anything, but the water's kind of cold. But I thought this was pretty cool. Have a look at this here. That is one ambitious beaver, and that's a big beaver. Look how he's tearing the bark up on there. And I mean, that's 4 feet up in the air where he's working on that. But that is an awfully big tree for a beaver to be working on to tear down. And then he's worked on that in there before, but it's been a while. I'll tell you what though, that's ambition. And I mean, he's recently worked on this because it rained last night and this is dry. All these wood chips are dry. So he was actually out here this morning working on that. Working right in here this morning, ripping all that out. And I mean, look at the marks on that tree. How powerful the bite is on that beaver. I thought we would find something pretty cool out here. But he has got some really powerful jaws to be ripping in there. And you see the sap here still wet. And that outer bark is just about dry. See, yeah, there's one of his tracks right there. And there. Man, looks like he goes up in that direction. The way the leaves are disturbed and everything, he comes from that direction up here to work on that particular tree. I would say that tree is 2 feet thick. I mean, that little guy right there, he's got some ambition. Let's go this way. There's my truck up there. Got mud in my boots already. Look at that. That's awful disrespectful. This is a memorial park, and they're up here trying to show off with their pickups. Here's where the trail starts. Somebody's been back in here playing with their pickup. I'm not sure where this trail here goes. I don't believe it's part of the archery range, so we'll have a look. In fact, I don't think this was here last year. Somebody's sure having fun in here, getting stuck. Might actually be kind of fun to come back here if I get me a Frank going or an off-road cart. This would be pretty cool. I don't see any fresh tracks. It's kind of chilly this morning. Yeah, see how these little saplings are these, yeah, it's a little sapling there, standing up in the trail. Nobody has drove back in here for a while. Not in a couple of months for that to grow up. There's pine cones, some pine trees. Somebody can strip some bark and make them some pine tar. We're back in a little pine forest right now. It's not too bad of a little trail. I could probably bring the Manco back up in here if I don't go to jail. There's a little foot trail back up through there. There's somebody's trash. You know what I bet this is? I bet you somebody drives back up this way to a little secret hidey fishing hole or something. I'll bet. Either that or it's like some kind of a park maintenance access. Yeah. Looks like it just ends here. Yeah, it just goes here. There's an oil jug. Huh. I guess somebody just comes back here and They got them a little secret fishing spot because the road just pretty much ends right here. And then if you look, there's a foot trail right here where somebody has stepped it down, but they don't come back here a lot. And they go down there and fish. Okay, we'll head back. Darn it. Sorry guys. Cold weather, bad sinuses. So we'll walk on back out and then we'll check out the other little foot trail. Cool. Some little animal's been digging there. Doesn't look like an armadillo, because armadillos usually dig little holes. But it's been some small animal that dug there. I don't see any paw prints. They've washed out of the mud. But they've dug there and there. I know what that is. That's a turkey. There's some claw tracks right down there. You can barely see them, but that's a turkey that was digging through that. And the ground's kicked up back through there. I don't know how well it shows out, but a turkey's come kicking through there. It's definitely not an armadillo or a deer, and there's 3 claw marks there on the ground, so they tell me it's a turkey. Now we're starting to get close to the end of this little trail. This little road back in here. It probably goes back 500-600 yards. And it just follows the Cumberland River back in there to just a small opening. You could park a couple pickups back in there, maybe 3 or so. You can pull one in there and park. Looky here. See the paw print? That's canine there. If it was cat, you wouldn't be able to see right there. You see the points of the claws? This is canine, because cats have retractable claws. And if it's a cat, like a bobcat or something like that, you're not going to see those points where those claws are sticking out. So that's somebody's dog. They come in here and just kind of scratched that or coyote. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between a dog and a coyote on tracks, but I'd say it's probably more likely to be someone's dog, because there are fresh people tracks there that are not my own. So somebody's walked up in there this morning with their dog. Alright, we're pretty much at the trailhead. So we're getting ready to take this other trail, see where it goes. Well, anyway, this is where I'm at. I'm at Taylor's Landing Boat Ramp, Old Hickory Lake, which that's actually the Cumberland River that runs into the Old Hickory Lake. It's from Army Corps of Engineers. And if you go to the right, up that way a couple of miles, you'll be at Lock 3 access. That's an archery target there. That white square you see way back there. On the other side of that is the beaver dam from the beaver that was working on that tree, but I don't really want to disturb him. I like leaving, stuff like that alone. But that target there is about 9 foot by 9 foot, and it's compressed styrofoam blocks, which is really not good for arrows because the styrofoam with the friction kind of melts to the shafts. But from where I'm standing, that target's 72 yards. I've shot it a few times. And here is the other trail. Looks like somebody's really respectful of this. And I'm sorry about if you guys hear me sniffling and stuff. Like I said, it's cold out here and I got sinus issues. Somebody's got them a trail marker up there so they don't get lost that far from the trail end. And that is a cardboard compressed bale target. They do pretty good. They last a while, but it's sitting on the ground so it soaks up water. And if I remember right, if you go to the right or left, it doesn't matter. It just loops back around to this point and out. So we're going to take the lower loop. See if we can find anything interesting out here. Oh, I have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to be really sad. Yeah, look at target number 2. It's shot. They really don't maintain the range because there's no archery club out here in Trousdale County. We really need one. I mean, I'd come out here and shoot and work on the range if we had a club. And there's target 3 gone. And I think it's kind of ridiculous they maintain the trail, but not the targets. There's number 4. These are all short shoots. 20 yards. Easy shot. What have we here? Natural light and M&Ms. Yeah, I'll be picking those up on the way back. This could be a really nice archery range. We just need to get some people together out here that want to maintain it. The archery range that I met Brad at years ago, and we hung out at, we were part of the club that maintained it. Sorry, like I said, bad sinuses. But we were part of the club that maintained that range. And we did a lot of work on it. We used to have archery shoots out there. And if you guys Google the parks in Nashville, you'll see what I'm talking about, that the people with drugs and the guys that want to meet guys out in the woods took that one over. And they ruined those parks. Nashville, Tennessee, Madison, Tennessee, those parks have pretty much been ruined for people wanting to go out with their families, you know, have fun. You want to go out and shoot, you know, archery, because, I mean, there's gun ranges everywhere. There's not archery ranges everywhere. I mean, look at this archery target here. It's been tore up for years. But anyway, there's no places you could shoot. You got to know somebody has land and has their own range set up to shoot. So when you set up an archery range at a national park, it's really nice to get a bunch of people involved. The Boy Scouts were involved in it, and we rebuilt the park, rebuilt the bridges. It was a nice range at one time. Well, these bad elements moved in, and of course we had run them out once, got them under control, we were working with the police department, and the police department just pretty much got tired and bored with telling people to leave. See, look here, see that bridge over the creek for the back part of the range there? You could tell that hadn't been used in years, but it's got good posts. The wood is pretty weak, so I'm not going to walk across there. But that part of the range is closed. Anyway, we were running these guys off. And the police department was helping because we had range rules set up. If you're not shooting, you couldn't be out there. You know, it was archery only. And the police department pretty much told us, you know what, we're not going to do this anymore. These people have a right to be out here, even though they're breaking the law. And doing illicit activities out here in the woods. We can't do nothing about it unless we physically see it. It doesn't matter if you see it. If we see it, then we can do something. And I'm like, well, you know, they're breaking the park rules. And you're like, yeah, well, we're not going to enforce park rules anymore. So they tied our hands. And at that point, it got bad enough to where we couldn't go out and shoot without having guys hitting on us and other weird stuff going on. So we left the range, and it's gone way downhill since then. I'll have to make a video of what's going on out there now. Hopefully I can get that done this week. But you guys will see what happens when the community just gets tired of fighting these bad elements, and the police department is like, yeah, well, you know, we're not seeing it, so we can't make them leave even though they're breaking the rules. And there's another target that would be really cool to have set up, because you could go back there and you can get a 50-yard, 60, 70-yard shot on that target there. But there's no target. It's sad. It's really sad that our parks are coming to this, our recreation area, that we can get kids out here, teach archery classes for free, and, you know, I mean, me and Brad was constantly buying, there's another target that's just ruined, but me and Brad and another friend of ours, Robbie, we would buy archery equipment on sale. Bowstring material, serving material, peep sights, arrows, whatever we can get on sale, we would buy. And it's like after hunting season, arrows, I mean, you could buy them for $1 a piece. Well, even sometimes 50 cents a piece. And we would go in there and we would buy them out. And then we would go to the range and there'd be kids out there shooting. And they'd have these, sorry, but they would have these cheap $20 Walmart bows that had solid fiberglass arrows, and they just wouldn't shoot. They'd shoot 10 feet. And we would retune their bows, tighten their strings up, get a little bit more power out of them, and give them a few of these lighter arrows, and teach these kids how to shoot and get them into it. And we got to where people would come in and see our vehicles and get all excited. Because, I mean, we custom tuned bows. We built free strings for people. We put better sights on them. We sighted in their bows. We gave them arrows. Put peep sights on bows. Look at this. See that white thing back in there? That's a toilet. That's a toilet somebody threw out in a national park. Yeah, when I leave, I'm going to pull off there, load up some of that trash, drag that stupid toilet out there and take it out of the dump. The dump here is free. All you got to do is put it in your vehicle, take it down to the dump, and it's free. And people throw toilets in the woods. Anyway, we did a lot of custom bow work, custom tuning, free archery classes for anybody. You know, I mean, you come down there, you were having trouble, we helped you. I mean, that was it. And we had a good thing going, and it got ruined. And I would like to get something going out here like that, but I got to find people interested. Get us a nice park going again, get the kids into something out here besides trouble. Teach them skills, you know, give them something to be proud of. And yeah, it's just sad we had something so good going at the other range, and it got ruined because people just got to where they didn't want to push back against the bad elements that were ruining something. When you fight stuff like that, you got to keep pushing, you got to keep fighting. You can't stop. Once you stop, they win and they take over. And now we pretty much lost the range out there. What we worked so hard for a couple of years to get, when the community backed out and we had no more police backing, it's gone. And I'll have to do a video on that. I mean, look, we got trash in the woods there. I could spend 2 days out here picking up some of this trash I've seen back in the woods, but I will go get that toilet and get rid of it, and some of that other trash that was towards the trailhead. It's really upsetting. I mean, we fought hard to build that range, and to have it taken away from us for guys wanting to play with guys in the woods, and it's ridiculous. I mean, in that town, I kid you not, there's that big target I was telling you about, but in that big town I've told you about, Hendersonville, Tennessee, I actually caught somebody that was on city council in the bathroom with another man, and this guy was married. Called the police. Police come out. Come to find out, the man he was with was a fireman for Hendersonville. I can't give out names. They made me promise I wouldn't. They said I'd have problems if I did give out names. And this has been several years ago, so I doubt they're still on council. But that's the kind of stuff we dealt with out there. And that's also part of the reason why I moved. You know, out here, I like the woods better anyway. But when you live in a town where city councilmen are breaking the law and they tell you to keep your mouth shut, that's pretty bad. But that's, you know, I guess everywhere. At least out here they're doing things. They got a community center built. The churches out here do a lot of good. My neighbor, he's real big into his church out there. He's the pastor of the church. We got good people out here. Oh man, look at that. All right, I'm rambling on.